So we're going to go ahead and find a maximum for 11.5. In this one specifically, we do have a number out front, and unlike solving, if you're going to graph it, that number has to stay because it's your scale factor. It's going to tell you how wide or narrow your graph is, and we don't want to get rid of that, okay, because you're getting rid of a piece of your graph. If you were to solve it, technically that's fine. It just ends up going away, and that's okay. But here, we gotta make sure, excuse me, that we keep it in there. So starting off, we're gonna move the 42 to the other side. Okay. The next thing that we want to do is go ahead and take out the 2. I still can't complete the square if there is a number in front of x squared. So if I divide it out, if I take the GCF of just that right side, -2 comes out, leaving behind an x squared. And then I divide the 20 by -2, and it leaves me this 10 here. Okay. From there, I create this blank where I can then complete the square. So in this case, we have -10 divided by 2 squared, which is 25. Okay. But since I added technically a 25 to the right, it's actually a -50 that I put in. Okay, because of the 2 that's out front. They're in parentheses. So in order to keep things balanced, -50 needs to go to the other side. Okay, so now I do a little simplifying, and this whole piece turns into x minus 5 squared. These two pieces combined turn into -8. So my whole vertex form is -2 x minus 5 squared minus 8. Or sorry, add 8. Okay, because that one moves. So a couple things that you can tell about this. First off, it's a downward facing parabola because of the -2. It's vertically stretched. In other words, it's skinnier. Our vertex here, remember, is the point of H and K. Change H to opposite sign. Keep K the same. So I know I have a vertex of 5, 8. And I'm sure this is down here lower. Is it? Yep, it's all down here lower. So I'm going to go ahead. I've already identified everything we need to do. Oh, let's go ahead. It has a max at 8. Remember, it's a max at the y value there. Axis to symmetry is 5. I'm sorry, x equals 5. Very important that you keep the x equals there. Now let's go ahead and see if we can solve it using completing the square so that we can find the x-intercepts. Because we have the maximum, we have the axis of symmetry, we have the vertex. Our y-intercept is -42, which is going to be hard to graph. So the only thing that I'm really missing to make this a nice looking graph is the roots or the x-intercepts. Okay, so let's do some completing the square. So I'm going to move the 8. I don't know why they got rid of the negative on that 2. Okay, so divide by -2. So I get a 4. Then I can go ahead and square root. So I get x minus 5 equals plus or minus 2. So my two answers could be 5 if you move it to the other side, right? Add 5 to both sides, plus 2, or 5 minus 2. So my answers would be 7 and 3. And remember that these are the x-intercepts that you're finding. Okay. That's the nice thing about completing the square because it finds a lot of stuff for you, and technically you're only working through one thing to get a couple different answers. So let's see if we can put this on a graph. Yikes. Okay, so let me remember, -42. I don't know if we're going to be able to put this on this graph. Let's go ahead and put on the ones that I do have besides the negative 42. So let's put on the 7 and 3, like normal. 3, 7, we said 5 and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm going to just go ahead and sketch that without the y-intercept because the y-intercept is way down low.